The anti-coup demonstrations in Myanmar continue to intensify as the death toll at the hands of the security forces rises. From open firing on the protesters to cracking down on peaceful protests, the Myanmar junta remains determined to resist growing calls to compromise. From the main city of Yangon to small communities in the north, protesters in nearly 20 places across the country staged candle-lit protests. This was to honor those killed since the military grabbed power. In Myanmar's second biggest city of Mandalay, medical staff marched at dawn, with some donning their white coats for the protest. In the southern city of Dawi, a convoy of hundreds of protesters rode on their motorbikes, joining demonstrators around the country in opposing the military rule. In central Myanmar, protesters were seen clashing with the security forces. The security forces opened fire, killing at least one. At least 211 people have been killed since the February 1 coup. But estimates suggest that the numbers could be far higher. The military has also said that 2 policemen have been killed in the protests. Meanwhile, international pressure is now mounting on the junta. Western countries have repeatedly condemned the violence. And now, even the country's Asian neighbors have started speaking out. In some of the strongest comments so far, Indonesian President Joko Widodo has said that the violence should stop immediately. He called for an urgent meeting of the Southeast Asian regional grouping, of which Myanmar is a member. Malaysian Prime Minister also backing the call, saying he was appalled by the persistent use of lethal violence against the civilians. Singapore has also expressed its disapproval amid the growing crackdown. Joining us on the broadcast is the President of Burmese Rohingya Organisation UK, Tung Khin from London. Thanks very much for speaking with us here on WION World is One. Give us a better sense of what things are looking like at the moment and what sort of international assistance and support are you hopeful of, even as the crackdown intensified in spite of the international pressure?
As far as what I can see from the ground, the situation getting bad to worse. You know, there is no factory workers are not going to work, and you know, many people are coming out of the street to in many cities until today. Despite brutal crackdown, we can see the people are very brave and they have courage, and they are coming out to the street, and continuously they are protesting. And you can see that the military is very worried what they have to do next. You know, they seize the power. They are not legal in our country, and the people of Burma are very brave. They are fighting. You know, this is a revolution. 2021, Spring Revolution is getting stronger. I'm so happy to see that, and many people are joining to CDM. That is very good. So I think military cannot move forward. As far as I think, the problem here is one thing: we need international support. You know, that is we are not getting enough support from international community. We need support for the CDM movement, and we need support humanitarian aid, especially in Laintaya. Hundreds of people were killed last few days ago. You know, same thing what's happened to the Rohingyas in 2017. Same massacre happened in Laintaya. And I have no words to express what is happening on the ground. And every day people are sacrificing their lives, to get rid of military dictatorship from power. So the world have to unite and come to act immediately.
Right. Several factories have shut their production due to shortage of workers. The growing strikes by the workers, 90% of the national activity has ceased as per reports. To what extent do you see these measures by the workers going on strike actually mounting pressure on the military junta?
Of course, a strike will go. A strike will give pressure to the military. Same time, we need to look at all the avenues to pressure military. One thing is a strike, and another thing is CDM. Many people are joining CDM. CDM is getting a stronger. CDM movement is getting a stronger. The other side, ethnic armed groups, they have to fight. That is another way, because it is a revolution. It's no more about protests and anything. It's a revolution against military dictatorship from power in Burma. We want to see all-inclusive democracy, federal union in Burma. That's what I believe everyone in Burma looking forward to it. So the policy is shifted, no longer that restore democracy. It's about federal union and federal army. People are talking about it, so that this will move ahead to the revolution.
Tongkin, appreciate very much for joining us on the broadcast with those perspectives. We are now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.